Welcome to the Love Government. I'm Dennis Leary. We're presenting a series of videos called Sex Cards. And these are some of the cards here. We are taking a journey home through this house structure of love. And home is up here where the top card is here. And that home really means that we're at home with ourselves. Home is where the heart is. The heart is at the very center of the love culture, which is here, here. And along the way, we learn how to get home, and we learn what it means to be a true lover. This is what it's all about. And we do that in order to demonstrate it and to fix the world, to restore the world, in the way in which it's supposed to be. And that takes a lot of work, that takes reformation, that takes very, very acute understanding, that takes discipline, and it involves very specific practices, which we'll go into more in detail. But we need to get the big picture now, garner the energy, garner the information, strengthen ourselves, see the pitfalls. All of it together is why we're doing all of this. Because we're up against it. We're up against it in so many ways. And it's a very powerful force that we are attempting to help. This card then is the 28th card in this series of 52, and it occurs in the suit of form up here at the top. It's the 28th card. It's the 7 of form, and it is called the crown. The crown is the top of our head. The crown is like the aura around a saint. Saints have this circular crown up there, but really it's a bigger crown than that. There is a crown that surrounds our body, which is this sign. It's the vulva sign, or the oval sign, or the love sign. 2 crescent moons, waxing and waning moons. The woman sign, the woman-based culture sign, and it's around our body as an aura, and it's here at the vulva, and it's called the crown. The card is the Empress card. Now this is over the Emperor. Right below the Empress was the Emperor. That was the previous episode. So the Empress is over the Emperor, which means the Emperor is serving the Empress. Again, the same message is that this is the order of nature. Man serves woman. Very important message that's being given here. So here we have the crown chakra, symbolized by the Empress. And she is sitting on her red couch, not a throne. Red is the color of love. She is sitting in a Garden of Eden setting. There's the tree of life behind her. There's a stream of water. This is all nature-based, reminiscent of Demeter, who went down into the underworld and grew the crops. These could be crop circles with love in the middle of them. She's giving us a message. The lovers who are gathered here with us as we do these ceremonies speak through the cards. This is the means of communication that we use. The Empress has 12 stars on her head, which is the zodiac, but more than that, it's all of the stars that surround us. And they, not only on our head, but they're all around us. We're surrounded by stars. And we are a star. We maybe came from one of the star galaxies up there. An advanced civilization maybe created us, and we were part of them, and now we're here to do what we're supposed to do. So we could be star people. She is holding up a sex sign, a sex card of sorts, and that is the, again, it is the circle above the rod. This is the proper orientation of sex. The woman is on the top. because she can control the situation on the top. She didn't have to be there all the time, but it's not the missionary position. The missionaries were horrified when they came into the Aboriginal cultures and they discovered that the woman was having sex on the top. And they said, no, don't do that, that's wrong. The man is always on the top. The man is in control of the sexual situation. So that relates to something that's a little bit off the subject here, but it's called natural birth control. In the love culture, there was natural birth control in the small clans in which we lived. The young woman, for example, was anovulatory for several years when she could be having sex. So that was the time to get sex out of the system. Have all the sex you want as a young person when you got the energy, and the men and the women too. And well governed under the eyes of the watchful eyes of the grand lovers. That was natural birth control. And then when the woman is a mother and she's nursing her children, another birth control situation. And then she becomes a matron. And then if you don't, the woman, if she wants to have a baby, then the man impregnates her. But if she doesn't want to have a baby and she's on top, she can control the situation. She can get off when she sees that he's going to climax and then finish him off some other way. She's in control. Now, she should be able to trust the guy, but if he's not trustworthy, he may make her pregnant when she doesn't want to. So all of this is under the governance of the Empress, who sits here governing all, and all makes sense. It's all coherent. She has 7 pearls around her neck. 7 is a lucky number, and it's a sacred number. And the sign of Venus is there, has a heart-shaped, and it has the female sign. In our culture, we have the female sign, which is the circle at the top and the cross at the bottom. Circle stands for woman, who is on the top. And the cross stands for man, who supports the woman. The emperor is underneath the empress. The woman is always the power behind the throne because nature is basically parthenogenic, or womb-centered. Nature can reproduce herself parthenogenically. She doesn't need to be inseminated. She can be self-inseminating. Most of our cells are that way. They simply go mother-daughter, mother-daughter. They divide. So men are brought in to enhance the sexuality, to give it more pleasure. And then men are brought in to make the babies. So now we have greater variety. The life is more spicy this way than the other way. So, but it's dangerous because the penis may not work, or the penis may be converted to a power instrument, and then it's power over. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. Women become an object to be used for money, for advertising, etc., etc. Or sex becomes inappropriately acted out. It's not well governed. Not well governed. In the love culture, the matrons in the culture were the ones that did the governing for the most part. Men were meant to be helpers, assisting, giving the woman extra pleasure, more pleasure, helping with the variety of nature. But over and over and over again, we said men do not know how to govern with love. You can look at it in our culture today, which is heading towards disaster. Like all the other patriarchal cultures, maybe. Hopefully we can turn it around if we act quickly enough and wisely enough. But men know one thing, basically one thing, if they become corrupt, and that is how to kill. They start off with killing animals, which bulk them up, raised their red blood cell count even above women, who, despite the bleeding. It bonded them together. It gave them that adrenaline rush of power. And then it led to a slippery slope, to killing bigger and bigger animals, developing the weapons from clubs, and then it was spears, and then it was bow and arrows, and now it's guns and rockets and bombs and drones. It's all a killing system. Patriarchal men went from lovers to killers. Lovers to killers. And now we make killing with our money. The money system as we have it today is a killing system. So the aura becomes sticky if it's not cleansed with love. The aura around us becomes sticky. It's the old crown of thorns idea. This shows up in Christianity. Jesus with the crown of thorns. But in that case, Jesus is representing mainly women and the earth herself, who the aura around us, instead of being translucent and bright and shining and beautiful and healthy and invigorating, it becomes sticks and stones, sticky. And people that are sensitive, they can see auras, can look in the aura and see, wow, it's a mess, you know. It can be icky colors and bloody and goopy. It's not healthy. There are ways to clean up our situation, personally and culturally. And the first step is to do what we're doing here, is to talk about things, understand, interact in a ritual way, in a love-centered way. It's like reenacting what we have lost through paradise lost, regaining, making it paradise found again, and recover. It's all part of our heritage that we can recover, and it's governed by love, represented by the Empress of Love. Now this is just a picture, but the reality is what happens when you drop all these props, when the house of cards falls down, and then what are you left with? You're left with yourself and your community and all the lovers. So we thank all the lovers for being with us. And we end then with the sign of the crest rather than the sign of the cross, because it's more fundamental, it's more basic. So it goes in the name of the lover, the mother and the father,